Hey everyone, ScytherGreen here from server 73. I've recently hit the big red restart button and landed fresh on server 400. Welcome to my Infinity Kingdom beginner series, where you'll be following my journey progressing from preparation to conquest as an F2P with a third builder. In this second episode, I'll be breaking down what my first 7 days look like. Progress, power, and probably more troop deaths than I'd like to admit. Whether you're brand new, starting over, or just here to watch someone else suffer through early game RNG, there's something in here for you. Let's jump in before my troops file a complaint with HR. Let's start with my personal stats. Right now, I'm at Lord level 19, with a total power just over 110,000, which is not bad for 7 days of free-to-play. It's nothing fancy, but it's a solid start. There are two numbers here that are worth paying attention to. First is highest power. This one matters if you ever want to change servers. The higher this number is, the more it'll cost you in space portals, so flex carefully. Second is consecutive logins. Logging in daily gives you milestone rewards like profile frames. And here's a little tip. If you reach 1,000 consecutive logins, and you have access to IK VIP, you can request a reward through Discord. You'll have a choice from an epic immortal, an epic skill, or a skin. In my personal opinion, the best value is requesting an epic skill, specifically corrosive power. This is one of the most exclusive skills to get in Conquest, where it's only available in Well of Wisdom as a random drop. I'll admit, I forgot to track my early castle levels, but right now I'm sitting at castle level 14, pushing toward 15. To help keep things on track, I've been using a spreadsheet made by a player named Zelus. It's been in circulation for years, but still holds up. It lists all the resources and timers you'll need for upgrades up to C55. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out too. Now, castle upgrades are important, but the real wall early on, resources. That's why my main focus right now is the production tree and research. A steady stream of resources makes everything smoother, especially once the timers start dragging out. Research might not feel exciting at first, but it's one of the best long-term investments you can make. What about you? Did you go straight into military tech early on? Or are you also leaning into production? And if you've used a Zelus spreadsheet, how far has it helped you plan ahead? And speaking of long-term, let's talk about my current March setup, because if you're free to play, your team is going to be shaped more by what you get, not what you want. Right now, I'm running with Moctezuma, Merlin, Hippolyta, and Leonidas. Definitely not my ideal lineup, but it's holding together better than I expected. It's not the cleanest combo, but it actually covers the basics: damage, healing, frontline defense, and a bit of disruption. It's enough to carry me through early content while I work towards something stronger. Here's a quick breakdown of how they're working together so far. Leonidas is my frontline tank. His skill hits all enemies and gives himself a damage reduction buff for 6 seconds. He helps soak up pressure so the rest of the team can breathe. Hippolyta fires off 5 hits at random targets. Each one drains energy and lowers attack speed for a few seconds. It's great for stalling the enemy and disrupting their rhythm. Merlin is my main AoE damage dealer. His ultimate hits all enemies and does bonus damage to chill targets, which I'm not triggering yet, but even without that bonus, he's still pulling the most weight. Moctezuma is my safety net. He heals the 2 most damaged allies, and if one of them is below 30% HP, he adds healing over time. It's helped keep things stable during longer fights or unlucky crits. This March is really just about staying alive long enough for Merlin to do his thing. It's not flashy, but it works, especially when RNG is calling the shots. So, how did this team actually perform? Let's take a look at my gnome raid results from the week. I ran 16 raids on level 12 trying to using that same March, and here's what the numbers looked like. Now, I didn't lose any of the raids, which is good, but those are great numbers. Nearly 5,000 deaths and just over 7,000 seriously wounded. That's just over 12,000 troops out of commission. That's a rough trade. So it's clear that my March is missing the damage and sustain needed to handle level 12 gnomes efficiently. For now, I'm probably better off dropping down a level or 2 until I can tweak my setup and push further without bleeding troops like this. This week I've learned, just because you can raid a gnome doesn't always mean you should. How are your gnome raids going? Are you pushing hard into higher levels or keeping it safe for better efficiency? Let me know how your losses are looking in the comments. Now shifting over to Arena. This is one of those places where knowing when not to show off can really pay off. In this round I was matched against Shamash with over 40,000 power, Ray at 24,000, and Melanation sitting at just over 11,000. My own power is around 21,000, so I didn't even hesitate. I went straight for melanation. Not a thrilling fight, but it was a guaranteed win. And honestly, that's what matters. Every win gives you arena insignias, and I'm stacking mine to unlock Hippolyta fragments. In the early game, guaranteed wins are worth far more than flexing your march just to lose. I think you're better off collecting resources steadily, instead of risking it all for a few bragging rights. What about you? How do you handle arena? Do you farm the easy wins like I do, or aim higher and take your chances? Alright, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the bigger picture. What is it like playing on both servers? On server 400, I'm still getting established. My peak troop power is just over 21,000, and I'm currently unranked. Meanwhile, on server 73, I'm sitting at rank 118, with a peak power that's just over 750,000. So yeah, the difference is big, but that's expected when you compare a fresh start to a well-established main. It's not just about power or server age though. The mindset and structure are completely different. Server 73 is well into conquest, and most players there are in a settled rhythm. They've finished building their castles, some have even finished all research tech, they've got their core teams set, and right now they're preparing for the C60 update. People are comfortable working with what they have, it's more about refinement than rapid progress. Server 400, on the other hand, is buzzing with that new server energy. Players are actively encouraging each other to grow, offering helpful advice and showing up daily. There's a sense of urgency and teamwork, like everyone's sprinting together toward mid-game goals. Even the map layout reflects that difference. On server 73, the Norheim map has been carefully set up for KVK preparation. The server is split between two main alliances and several alt alliances, with each group holding specific cities and capitals based on the bonuses they provide. Everything is positioned to maximize how players can benefit from those buffs, and how the whole server can work towards shared goals. Server 400's map is a lot less structured. Right now, it mostly reflects who got to which city first. There isn't much long-term planning yet, at least none that I'm privy to. It seems to be more about day-by-day growth as alliances expand and settle in. I forgot to document the earlier stages, but what you're seeing here is day 9 of S400's progress. Each faction will eventually control a third of the map, but beyond that, it's still up in the air. I'm not sure how things will play out long-term, but I'm definitely looking forward to watching it unfold. And that's been my progress so far in S400. Before I go, I want to share a few small habits that have been helping me stay efficient as a free-to-play player. Because honestly, every little bit counts. One thing I've been doing is banking my daily mission rewards. You can only store 3 of them in your mail at a time. They stick around for nearly 2 months, which is great. But if a 4th one rolls in before you've claimed one, the oldest gets overwritten. So I've been timing when I collect them, using them to complete my daily gnome raid while saving the rest of my AP to help capture cities and participate in other server events. Another thing that's helped is dismantling immortals I don't plan to build. The soul shards you get can go straight into the ones you actually care about, and that makes a noticeable difference when you're limited on resources. Also, don't sleep on your alliance chat. My alliance posts ruin coordinates, redeem codes, and event updates. It's helped me more than once. Just taking a minute to check those tabs each day can seriously pay off. If you've got any F2P habits or early game routines that are working for you, I'd love to hear them. It's been a mix of learning, adapting, and making the most of whatever RNG decided to drop on my doorstep. My team's holding together, research is ticking along, and the differences between a baby server and a conquest veteran server like S73 are already pretty clear. There's still a long path ahead, probably paved with troop losses and questionable arena picks, but I'm looking forward to growing this account, testing more setups, and seeing where this journey leads. If you found any of this helpful, or you just want to stick around and watch me trip over more gnome fights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in Norheim.